Welcome to Smart Money with Chris Swartz. Living life on your terms requires more than income. Smart Money connects you with the people, tools, and strategies that turn income into freedom. Today, I'm joined by John Lee, international speaker, coach, entrepreneur, AI strategist, and author of his new book, Money Unlocked. And today, we're talking about how money, leverage, and AI are changing the way that people build wealth. John, welcome to Smart Money.
Brother, thank you so much for having me, man.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to have you on the show. And I want to dive into everything that we talk about in the coaching and the strategies that you share. So, John, I guess tell us a little bit about your background and what you do.
Started in animation, worked with my mom Chinese takeaway as a dishwasher, got into business and entrepreneurship. And, for me, I've always been fascinated with how money is created and sort of the lessons around that. And I think it's very unconventional ways of doing it. So, yeah, that's kind of like my background, and didn't do well at school.
Okay.
I know, dyslexic. So I always had challenges with the academic stuff. But what I realized is you don't have to be intelligent to be rich. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the ways that you're helping people? And I want to dive into a little bit with our audience on some of the things, because I know you've got a book that just came out. So we're going to talk about the book,
Yes.
Money Unlocked. And so what are some of the strategies and the tools that you talk about in the new book, Money Unlocked, that help people move forward?
So Chris, it's really, first of all, understanding the different fundamentals, right? Because a lot of people, they make money, right?
Okay.
And they're trading time for money. But what we want to do is we want to turn that active income into passive income and turn that passive income into leveraged income. So how do we do that? So we've got to put it into things that actually grow in value. So most people just do the first part. And if you think about it, what people do is they make all this money, and what's left is what they actually, spend or invest, right? And for most people, it's very minuscule. It should be the other way around, Chris. It should be, here's how much money you make. This, you're going to invest that straight away, and whatever's left, that's what you should be living on. And so it's kind of flipped.
Okay. And that's kind of unconventional, right? That everybody is keeping the lion's share and then living off of.
Well, think about this for a second. It's assets, isn't it, right? Assets is what put money in your pocket. But most people are not spending money, or investing money rather, in assets. So, for example, instead of buying a Tesla, you could have bought a Tesla stock, 20 years ago or 10 years ago.
Right.
How much would that money have been worth now? Think of every phone people have. It's like, the new flip one now that's come out.
Yeah.
Right? That's $2,000 for a phone. But imagine if you put 2,000 of stock in Apple 20 years ago, how much would that be worth today, Chris?
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. And people go out, and here's the thing. One thing I talk about in the book is the goal is not to look rich, is to be rich.
Be rich. I like that. Yeah. So I love the title, Money Unlocked. So to me, that's like, what are we locked out? What are we locked out from? Where's the title come from? What are we missing?
It comes from the ability to be able to see opportunities.
Okay.
If you've ever wanted to buy a brand new car and you're like, I want to buy that yellow car, and you're driving around and you see all these cars, there's a yellow car. There's another yellow car. And you start seeing them everywhere, isn't it? Now, the key to this is to understand that they were always there. You just didn't unlock the perception of seeing it to be able to understand it. And that's why most people are not wealthy, because they're so stuck in, and I have a conspiracy theory around this, that, we go to school, get a job, and it's almost like they want to put these blinders on us. And I'm so passionate about taking all these different opportunities and just going, we can do this, and especially with AI now.
Right.
I mean, even the thing that, I talked to you about, you said, hey, John, you told me you created this little app just from an idea, and you sold it for $3,000.
Yeah. And
just like that. Unlocked.
Yeah,
you see?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of opening up the awareness of what we're not, noticing that's already around us. And especially with AI, like, you have helped me so much in just, even with the one tool that we use, WhisperFlow. So if you're not using WhisperFlow, just the amount of time that you can save leveraging these tools is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And with that, you can go create more, right? And that's a lot of what you teach through your coaching, right?
Well, I'll give you an example on WhisperFlow, right? A lot of people, they type. Have you noticed now that when you try and type, it feels really slow?
I feel like I've gone back into dinosaur. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, I know how to do this.
Yeah,
and it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating because my brain is
because your mind's
gone.
thinking 10 times faster, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't. Okay.
Go ahead.
The one thing I think about, I always struggled with my typing class, and I'm like, aha, I got it. I didn't need that typing class. I was just ahead of my time. I knew it. Because now I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, because because then that's the whole thing about execution. This is execution. Right. This is strategizing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the ways we unlock money. For example, you can think fast and you can type. Right. And so with AI now, it's all about giving it full contextual prompts and having specifics in there. Like to try and get the nuances of that in typing would take a long time. But now you can do things in what would take you hours, you can do in minutes now. Right. And that's when you have things like WhisperFlow, you also have all these nuances that you can put in that actually get specific results. And this is why I'm so excited about the book, because this is literally when people read it, they're going to start thinking differently. They're going to start, they're not going to start seeing things as expensive. Well, what is expensive compared to what? Price is what you pay, value is what you get.
I love that.
Right. And so there's all these things that we've been trained to think about money, but money is actually, it's not real.
Right. It's just a concept.
It's just it's a construct of how the world is run. Right.
Yeah.
And I think of money like, when you play in the old days, we used to play Super Mario.
Sure.
Those types of games.
Absolutely.
And you have that scoreboard and your name would always move up.
Yeah.
That's how I see money.
I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a concept my friend taught me. He plays this game called Baccarat in Vegas. And basically, it's just two cards. And two cards get dealt. And then if one card is a 9 and one is a 0, basically it's the person to get closest to 9.
Okay.
And he's putting these chips down. And I'm there drinking my water and I'm sitting there watching him play. And there's got these celebrities around. And I look down, Chris, and one chip is $100,000.
Wow.
I'm like, you just put my Rolex, just 2 chips. There's my Lambo.
Right on the table.
And I was like, how can you even comprehend? I mean, of course, he's very rich. He's wealthy, but to him, his construct of money is not money.
Okay.
He just says it's just 1 unit. So he puts 1 unit in, he gets 2 units back.
Interesting.
Right. So he puts 100,000, he gets 300,000 back.
So it's all in how you look at it and what's your mindset.
The reason why people don't have money is because they're always thinking about money.
How ironic, right?
It's ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because think about where money is created, Chris. It's created, and this is what I love about your podcast and really thinking smarter about the way we do things, and in an unconventional way. People will say, "Oh yeah, but money. We should be saving money." No, we should be investing money. Money should be working hard for us than the money that we should be putting in to work for the money, to convert it into money.
And so when you're saying invest, what types of things are you seeing now? We have AI and all of the, technology out there. And you can start a business, right, with so little capital with all these tools. So what are people investing in? What are you seeing now with AI and the way that we can build businesses that if you were making money, where would you put it?
So it's not the thing. It's the concept of the thing within the thing. Let me explain.
Okay,
so
let's unpack that.
So it's a concept known as intrinsic value.
Okay.
Right? But intrinsic value can only be realized if you can see it. Right? Let me give an example. So I just bought a couple of properties in central London, Zone 1, prime location. If you open the window, you can see the London Eye. Okay. And Big Ben is just next door. Literally, I can walk to Big Ben in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
People say to me, John, there's no way you can buy property below its market value. But yet, I bought it for $1 million. It's worth 2 now for every piece of real estate I buy. How is that even possible? Because my reality is I know those deals exist. Other people's realities is it doesn't exist. It's funny, on the way here, so I just landed from London. And you should watch this show. It's incredible. It's called Dark Matter.
Okay.
Right? And it's about the concept of super. Are you familiar with superposition?
Superposition? It's somewhat now.
Okay. Imagine right now there are infinite possibilities of your life right now.
Okay.
Right? The fact that we made a decision.
So we're going quantum? Is that where?
Kind of quantum, yes. Okay. Yeah, in quantum states.
Okay.
So if you imagine multiple different scenarios that happen to you right now, that can happen, that will happen, because you're focused on it. Where the focus goes, the energy flows. Same with money. right? Suddenly you have no money, you think about something and you do it, and now you action it. You've now super positioned yourself into a reality that exists that you never saw exist before. Before you came to me, you didn't really see, I can press a button and create an app.
Right.
Oh, now I can sell it and make 3,000 from it.
Yeah. No,
right?
I would.
You quantum shifted into that.
Interesting. Yeah. Because you think, oh, I can't do that. I don't know how to program. I don't know these things. And then once you change it, now I'm building apps for other people. I'm using these tools on the regular to enhance my business. And then when I see somebody else struggling in their business, I'm like, well, why don't we just build an app for that? They're like,
you got it. So you're super positioning.
Right.
Right. So when you look at where you are right now, like you are over here and you shifted the position to here, and then that'll open another door to something else. And that's how you unlock money.
Okay. And so that's where this concept kind of came about, Money Unlocked?
I can look at any process and just tell you how to make money from it. And really, when you think about it, it's really the fundamental things of solving problems and seeing intrinsic value. Most people can't see the value. I'll give another example. Stocks, right? You could use AI to analyze stocks for you, to tell you, when people have the AGM, what the profits, what the earnings calls are, and all that stuff. And it'll be able to give you an indication of whether that company is going to do well or not.
Right.
Right? That's an unlock immediately right there.
Sure.
But people don't know you can do that. People don't know there's a robot or what we call agentic systems, which basically do things for you, that can just go and find out what stocks are really good to invest in, and it tells you,
as opposed to doing all that research.
Right? Because if you look at the charts, right, you look at the past, right, the past does not equal the future, but it gives you a clue.
Leaves clues.
Right? And so if you look at paths, I mean, let's take real estate for example. Right? Don't look at the real estate. Look at what the market is doing. What is the feedback of the market? Right? Is lending hard? Is it not hard? Are people, how long is it on average taking someone to sell their piece of real estate? When you look at all these signs, Chris, it gives you an indication of actually how do you unlock money from that? Right? But it's also negotiations of how you unlock money. I'll give an example. Someone says to me, John, my property is worth $1 million. I do not want to sell it for 800,000 because I'm losing 200,000. Okay. Well, I'll give you what you want for it, but you give me the terms in which to buy it. Right. It's an unlock.
Okay.
Right. Because
most people would turn away from that deal and say, no, it doesn't work.
Right. But then you say, okay, I give you $1 million. I'll give you 800,000 now. That 200,000, I'll give you once the property hits 1.5. I'll refinance and give you the 200,000 out. That's an unlock. Right. But you need to understand all the different moving parts to be able to construct something together. Otherwise, you can't see it.
Yeah, okay.
It's like I don't know if you've been to one of those, when you go to a fun fair and you go into one of those like haunted house things, and it's got all the
mirrors,
and you think you can see it, but you can't. It's around the angle.
The wall.
That's the thing. But imagine if you're only partially seeing half of that. Like, let's say the lights are like not as light. People are only getting one part of it. That's why when you ask me where should people be investing in, they should be investing in information, specialized information. That's actually where the money is right now.
So in the information.
But
can't you get all the information from AI and from all these tools? There's so much information.
You would have thought so. Right? I'll give an example. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. In fact, a lot of the AI information is taken from things like Reddit and Wikipedia and not those so sophisticated information, right? But it's how things work. That's how GPT talks. That's how it sounds human, because people talk like that. But when you look at specifics, like if you ask a ChatGPT, how do we buy property below market value versus the nuances that make a difference. And it doesn't have those nuances. It's got, I would say 80, 90%. When you look at art, what is art? I mean, it's funny because we went to Paris and all these people were queuing up for Mona Lisa, right? And well, that picture's priceless. Well, what if I could take a picture of it? Is it still worth the same price?
Right.
It's the same painting.
Right.
So why is it not worth the same price?
Yeah.
Because it's a generic, just like slop. But the person who put the hand to the paper, right, who painted it for all the time they've been, and their heart, blood, soul went into it. That's what creates the value.
You got it. I love it.
You see?
Yeah, absolutely. So And with all of this going on, and like, why now? Why Money Unlocked now? Because I know I've seen you on big stages, and you've been talking about AI and social media and all of these things that you can do to build wealth. Why Money Unlocked now? What prompted this?
Partly because I used AI to help, because I'm dyslexic. So this book has been in my head for 20
So
years.
wait. So you wrote a book and you're dyslexic.
Yes.
Wow.
So here's how I wrote the book, right? Again, it's an unlock. So because AI got introduced, people look at AI like it's just going to like solve all the problems for them, right? It's kind of like, oh, but you've got this AI, but you still have to train the AI. Just like if you hire an employee, you still have to train the employee, right?
Right.
So how did I come up with this concept? Well, the concept was anyone can make money. You can go out and you could buy a bottle of water and you could sell it for more than what you paid for it. That's arbitrage.
Right.
Everyone can do that. Does everyone do it? No. Why not? Well, because they haven't got, well, first of all, they're not super positioned. So they haven't got all the different parts of the jigsaw puzzle. They've got parts of it. And even if they've got parts of it, they're all in the wrong order. So that's been, they have to put them in the right place. And so to me, it was frustrating hearing people come to me and saying, I don't have money. I'm like, okay, well, if you don't have money, you have to make money. But I don't know how to make money. Well, if you don't know how to make money, you need to learn. But I am learning, but not getting results. It's because you're not executing. If you're not executing, well, I'm executing, but I'm still not getting results. It's because you're not being consistent with it. And it always comes down to these three things. And so I tried to put it in a way where I could take all the knowledge from my head. One is to use AI to help me articulate myself better. So I basically just spoke the whole book.
Oh, wow.
I just spoke the whole book. Spent 3 months just speaking about the book, and AI would take my words, translate it word for word, and then it would basically put it in like grammatical, because
together for you.
Yeah. And it literally, that's how I wrote the book in 3 months. But
You wrote the book in 3 months.
In 3 months, but it's been in my head for 20 years. I always struggled to write and try and write it, but that was my unlock. Now I can knock out a book every 3 to 6 months now.
Wow.
All right, because I have the workflow. That is the unlock for me.
Wow.
So that message can now get out to thousands and thousands of people all around the world. Millions.
So if somebody's reading this, that's the key, is you can unlock.
I tell you, when they look, if I'm going to take one of the chapters from this. So there's a formula I talk about in here. This is page. Which page is this? You're a numeric. Basically, you're about the first chapter in. We talk about free, rich, and wealthy.
Okay.
All right. So what's the difference? So free is when you have enough money to buy your time back. Right. Rich is having multiple streams of income, right, including passive ones that bring you security and a better lifestyle. And then there's wealthy. So wealthy is when you live at a level of financial abundance and that's basically comes natural to you. And at this stage, money is no longer the goal. Right? Your money works for you and is a vehicle for your self-expression and creation. So one of the reasons why I wrote this book is because it's part of my creation to express myself in a way to people to understand that actually it's not that hard. It's funny because I've a friend of mine and she said, John, people say things are hard and they should change the word hard to unfamiliar. Right? It's not hard to make money. It's unfamiliar. So when Marissa Peer talked to me, I'm like, wow, what an unlock. Right? So all these little things just unlock the way you think. And when you understand how things are not the way they're supposed to be, or because someone's taught you what to do one thing one way, doesn't mean it's the right way.
Right. Yeah. It's, and I don't know if you gave this example or who gave this example, but there's the conveyance. That's right. Yes. Conveyor belt, right? And all the packages are going on the conveyor belt, thousands and thousands of dollars, and it breaks. And they call the repair guy, right? And he comes in and all the packages are backed up. He tightens the screw, right? And then all the packages are flowing, gives them the bill, and it's, $1,000. And they say, all you did was tighten the screw. But he had the knowledge to unlock it. Yeah. You shared that story with me. I love that. I use it all the time. Yeah. Because it's really, once you get the knowledge and you unlock it, the potential that you have is unlimited.
And that's the thing with this. Once you unlock something, it's almost like you've opened Pandora's box. You can't close it again.
Right.
It's like the moment you know that passive income exists, don't look at money the same again, right? The moment you go, well, wait a minute, I can buy a house and I can sell it the year after and it can replace my salary for the entire year.
Right.
Like,
why would you want to go back to work?
right. And so, well, it's not that you don't want to work. It's
Well, you want to do
it's
more
in
deals.
fact, again, one of the things we talk about in here, and people say, well, John, how should we be doing our money? So we talk about the wealth formula in here, right? So people say, well, John, it's great, but I don't have the money to do stuff. Well, to unlock money means you have to allocate in the right way. So the wealth formula goes in 3 pillars. And I have a diagram in here. Basically, it talks about having a purpose, right? Means you have to have joy. It's got to be joyful to do. It's got to be something you're naturally gifted at and good at. And then it has to solve a problem.
Okay.
Right? When you have all 3, that gives you the energy to follow through to be able to do the other things. So all the money you earn, 30% should be going into, a business. The other 30% should be going into some kind of asset. The other 30% should be going into your own business, your own ventures, and 10% should be the moonshots. Now, I have different variations of this in the book, but it depends on people's risk profile.
Okay.
Right? Are you high risk tolerance, low risk tolerance? The problem is most people are so scared to hold on to it and it never grows. Or it's the complete opposite. They bet everything and then they lose it.
Then they lose it all.
So you need allocation and this is how you multiply money. Because the book talks about how do you make it, how do you keep it, how to multiply. So I've got like blueprints in there and like how you do it, right? And then how do you keep it, right? And that's why that whole thing of saving money first. Like if people are like, oh, John, I don't have to save. Like you need to save money to be able to have money to invest it.
Right.
Right. So when you save it, you input it, you invest it in yourself, you have the knowledge. Now, the extra money that comes, you now know how to deploy. That's the key lesson in here. How do you deploy money you already have? Okay. And here's the good news.
All right.
You don't have to have the money as long as you know how to deploy. Do you know there's websites out there that if you can trade and you can get a good ROI with a proven track record, people would just fund your account. They'll fund your account with hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars.
So they'll give you their money.
They'll give you your money. You trade it, right? And you get a cut with their money.
So just by having that knowledge,
just by having the knowledge. I have a friend who plays poker. He's really good at playing poker, right? So there's these players that stake poker players to basically win tournaments. So these are all the unlocks. But again, that's why information, right? There's 3 things you want to be investing in. Number 1 is specialized information.
Okay.
Right? These are things that people don't talk about. Right? Number 2, network. Right? Network, proximity is power. Hang around the right people. Right? And the last one, you got to invest in traveling. Travel around the world. Okay. You know why? Because you were meant to travel. Right? And when you travel, do you know how this book came to fruition?
No.
I was supposed to, this book would not have existed had I not flown to Colombia.
Okay.
Right? Someone said, oh, John, you need to fly to Colombia. I said, why? I'm not even speaking there. He said, no, you need to fly there because, there's great people there. I'm like, yeah, whatever. My mind said no, my heart said yes. So I flew there and I met a guy called Ken Honda. Ken Honda is the guy that put me in touch with the publishers. And that's how this is a real thing now sitting on this table. This has sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies already.
Yeah, it just came out.
It just came out.
I know, I saw your post the other day. It's sold out on all the websites. It just came out.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have happened had I not traveled. Because when you travel, what happens is you increase frequency.
Interesting.
Right? My good friend Jim Quick, who's just endorsed this book, he said, what you do frequently increases your frequency. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And what we think about there is vibration. Because money can only flow to you if you become magnetic. Money can only flow to you if you release the money. When you release the money will flow back.
So give me an example. How would that work? So
okay, give an example.
If somebody's resistant to the money.
So I remember the first time, when I was, early 20s, I want to buy a Lamborghini, right? But I couldn't afford a Lamborghini. But you know what happens when you make a decision to do that? You're like, somehow you figure out how to buy a Lamborghini. And you're like, okay, I want to live in a £1 million house. Okay, well, you need to earn a certain amount to do that with like multiples based on your income. And it's like, okay, but you figure out a way to do it. And then now you want to live in multi-million-pound house, and now you want to have all these other like multi-million-pound properties, and it's like, how do you do that? You just figure out a way to do it. You see, your business or your money can only expand if you expand.
Okay.
Right? Like, you see how small this water bottle is?
Right.
It's small, right? But if I put a massive bottle of like 3 liter water and try and pour it into this, what's going to happen? It's going to overflow. It can't hold it. Right? So that's why to unlock money means you need to unlock yourself first and grow yourself first. And when you grow yourself, that's when you start to get more.
I love it. John, all of these strategies, I mean, it's just amazing, sitting here with you, and I've seen you on the big stages. What is, for people that are listening, what is one strategy from the book that you would say someone needs to implement that's easy, that they can do, even if they don't have the money right now to save to start a business or do something? What's one of the best strategies in the book?
All right, let me give you this one. How to make $100,000 as fast as possible. It's really easy, right? First of all, step one, you have to reverse engineer the process. So basically, you take out your calculator, put 100,000 in, and divide it by, let's say you sell something for $100.
Okay.
Right. So that means you need. Let's say let's be even easier. Let's do $1 million. Right.
Okay.
Let's expand people's minds. Okay. Because 100K is a little bit low. Like let's go to $1 million.
We're gonna
Even
make
$1 million is still a bit low.
All right.
Right. $1 million now is like the new 100,000. Right.
Yeah, you got to be
like New York,
billionaire, trillionaires. Now we're hitting trillionaires.
Right. Okay, let's start there. So the formula is this: 1,000 times 1,000. 1,000 buyers or clients at $1,000.
Okay.
Right? Or you have 1,000 times 100 for 100. Right?
Yep.
So now the question is, now that we know the number, so in the book I talk about the freedom number. Right?
Okay.
Everyone needs to have a freedom number.
Okay.
Basically, how much money you need to never have to work again. If most people made $1 million a year, they probably wouldn't have to work again. Right?
Right.
Or let's say they can make 100,000 a year, living on a modest lifestyle. You probably wouldn't have to work again,
Right.
right? And you could move to places like Thailand or Bangkok or something like Bali.
Yeah.
Live in paradise, right?
Yep.
Depending where you are. And that's what I'm talking about. It's your freedom number first.
Okay.
So where do we get the buyers, right? So the first thing I would do is I go to, let's say, Claude or ChatGPT, ask it to become your CEO. Right?
Okay.
In fact, everyone should have their own CEO. So first prompt is, go to my ChatGPT, every single question I've ever asked you, I want you to basically become my CEO, don't BS me, and give me exactly how it should come to me so I take action. And
Okay.
tell me all my vulnerabilities, and you are now my CEO.
So you're putting that into Claude or
Yeah.
whatever GPT you
So now you have a CEO.
Okay.
Or I call it a second brain. Second thing you want to do is you want to say, okay, give me all the problems and solutions that all businesses face in X niche. And it'll tell you real estate, brokerages, coaching, speaking, whatever it is, right? All this stuff, right? So now you've got the problems. Then you say, go and build me the solution for this business.
Well,
Right?
Yep.
So just kind of like what you did with the app,
Yep.
right? But you did it manually. But now you can automate it through Agentic, right? So now it's built it. Then you're going to give it a prompt saying, search the entire internet, find all the top businesses in this field, find me all the contact details, find me all the email addresses, search all their social media profiles, give me all the things that they've done in the last 7 days, reword the email to send to them based on the context of their social media profile. So there's some connection and rapport there. And then the goal is to get a meeting with them because I've built this thing for them. Right? So it's going to automatically send all these messages out and you will get some replies. Once you get those replies, guess what now? Hey, Chris, I noticed that you're doing XYZ business and I noticed in your business, here are all the problems. Can you relate? Oh my God, Jen, yeah, this is amazing. Well, you know what? I built a solution for you. And by the way, don't pay me for this. I built it because I want you to test it out. I want you to give me some feedback. Here you go. You start testing out, it starts now increasing your business. You guess what? You come back to me and say, hey, John, that's really cool. Here's what we can do. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Brilliant. By the way, is there anything else you need problem solving with in your business? Oh, John, actually, I need this, this, and this. I tell you what, take me on as your CAO, Chief Agent Officer, right? Pay me $2,000 a month, $3,000, $10,000, whatever it is.
Right.
And I'll basically run your entire company from you using AI.
Wow.
That's what you got to do. That's one really easy unlock that everyone can do now with zero execution.
Wow.
Because AI does it for you. And now you have to be able to orchestrate. So what you need to learn for the information is orchestrating that entire process. That's how it works. There's an easy unlock right there.
And that right there is one strategy that someone could use to make.
I've got hundreds. I've got hundreds of them.
So, and I know we could get into so many more. So if people want to learn more, obviously we're going to pick up the book, right? We're going to get the book, this thing, just if you can get it, because it's sold out everywhere.
I'll tell you what, actually, if you guys pick up the book, go to Amazon, type in Money Unlocked by John Lee, and then send me an email to business@johnlee.com, and I've got some gifts for your community. Business@johnlee.com. Send me the receipt of the one that you've taken on Amazon, and then I'm going to get my team to send you some gifts to get you guys started on this.
I love it. John, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing all these strategies with us. And if people want to find you, I know you have a big following, so it's not going to be hard, but I'm still going to ask you the question. Where can everyone find you on social? Where can we see you speaking next? I know you have a lot of events coming up. So tell us a little bit about where we can find John Lee.
Yeah, if you go to johnlee.com,
okay.
I've got a list of all the events that I'm speaking at there. And if you go to any social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, just type in John Lee, and then you'll see a lot of my content that comes up, and just follow the account and learn and implement it and really get results.
Awesome. I love it. And now I'm going to hit you with our signature question before I let you go here.
Mm-hmm.
So on Smart Money, we're all about creating wealth and living life on your terms, because earning at a high level and being burnt out and stressed is not fun. So life on your terms. What does that mean to you, to live life on your terms? What does that mean?
To do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want at any time, right? And to not have to worry about the economy or the war or things like that to basically fund you. You are in charge of you. True wealth, and again, it's what I talk about in the book, it's not about money. Because I ask people this one question, at the start of the book, the question is, if you've got $1 billion in the bank right now, would you still be doing what you're doing for me? It's absolutely yes. I'd still be flying around the world. I'd still be speaking on the stages. I'd still be investing in people's companies. I'd still be coaching and mentoring them to get to the next level. That's what I enjoy doing. That's the unlock for me.
Right.
Right? So what is true wealth? True wealth is not having all those zeros in your bank account. It's having the freedom to do what you want to do. And for example, client wants to pay you money, you don't want to take it because you want your freedom. Done.
Right. Being able to say no.
Right. Someone wants to fly you half around the world and pay you a large amount of money. You say no. Right. You want to pick up and go to Prague with your friends. Done.
Nice.
Right. Like these are the things that, and to be able to also do what you're passionate about. Like what do I do I'm a filmmaker. You've seen some of my films that I've made, like my short films. So when I'm not doing entrepreneurship and investing and doing all the talking, I'm busy making movies. Right. Making these short films because I'm an animator.
Yeah.
That's my background. So I love that is the freedom to really truly do. And this is the question to solidify that actual question you've just asked me. Look yourself in the mirror. I learned this from Steve Jobs. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself this question: am I happy today?
I love
Do I wake up every morning wanting to do more? Do I actually purposely want to take less sleep? By the way, I don't recommend this. But if there was a way to healthily not sleep and just keep doing what you're doing,
would you still go?
I'd be up 24 hours a day.
Wow.
That is wealth. That is the answer to your question.
I love it. John, thank you so much. I know you flew all the way here, ran through luggage missing in the airport, made it out to see us here on Smart Money. I can't thank you enough. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show,
I
John.
appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate you. Awesome.
Wow. So what a great conversation and an amazing opportunity to talk with somebody who really does have the key to unlock financial freedom. I hope you enjoyed this episode with John Lee. And if you got something out of this, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and share it on social. Follow Smart Money with Chris Swartz for more conversations on building wealth with purpose. And if you found value in this episode, share it with someone you know who can benefit, because real wealth is life on your terms.